And it's that time of year, y'all. Halloweenisms with a hashtag. So, y'all know I've had a brain issue, over the last year or so. Feels like forever. Oh, hey y'all. It's APT Jamie here. Brain issues, I tell you what. Oh my gosh. I'm not making fun of them. I just am one. Anywho, few MRIs. You know how it goes. Of which I have all these images. What am I going to do with them, I wondered. Oh no, I didn't wonder that. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with a few of them anyway. Right or wrong, indifferent. So I have this heavy cardstock, and it is the heavier cardstock, y'all. So that die that I'm using right there, it's just for a template. It's a template. And I'm using the square there as a die. To cut out a square. Because you know why. Specimens. It's all about being a specimen. So, there's a list of ingredients in the description below the video. More to see more information. Now, I'm going to tell you up front. This is a product rich, tool. It's tool rich kind of video. Because I used mini stamps, Manny, Many, many of them, a lot, Many, many, a lot. And some of them only used one out of some of these sets. So, there's a lot of sets listed in the description. So there we go. Okay. Also, on the archival inks, I used several different colors. That particular stamp has the word guest check on it. I didn't want it to necessarily say that boldly, so I'm using a Q-tip, aka cotton swab, because Q-tip is a name brand. It's just a cotton swab, y'all. The kind you are not supposed to use in your ears because you're not supposed to put anything smaller than your elbow in your ear. One of those. Anyway, to smear off some of that excess ink. It does still leave a shadow, and that's okay. And there's some other tinier words underneath there that say something about for tax purposes or whatnot. I don't know. Don't make no never mind, because sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. And we're going to stamp over it anyway. We're going to, and if I needed to cover it up, I could cover it up with a piece of paper or something, because this project was simply going to be some little brain specimens, okay? Namely, my brain. Not that I have specimens of my brain, although I wondered how I could make some. I'm still thinking on that. Anyway. We're doing some stamping on these now cut out specimen cards. Okay. We're going to do a lot of different stamping. And no, I'm not going to use the bugs. Even though I might have a buggy brain, we're not going to use the bugs. We're going to use that fun script on there. Okay. And yeah, most of them are Timmy stamps. It's just, I like them too. Just saying. Okay. So. And I'm trying to use different ink colors because I don't want it all exactly precisely the same. And it's not all precisely stamped either. It's okay. Because we're going to pretend like these are old specimen slides. Specimen. Think ephemera effects. I love that hashtag, y'all. Anyway. Think about that with your brain. So I'm mostly kind of just showing a couple of them. I ended up with 5. I don't know how I ended up with an odd number, but I did. So there we go. There'll be an odd number, but you mostly just see a couple, mostly. And a lot of this is actually the whole thing is sped up. Some of it's in hyperspeed. some of it not so much. And that is a stamp that actually says specimen. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. And I stamped it out, and I had an idea for what I was going to do with it. And I sort of didn't do with it that way, but we use it, and I love how these came out, y'all. It made me so stinking happy. I even texted my husband when I was through with them. I said, I love this project. Halloweenisms. Hashtag Halloweenisms. Hashtag Halloweenisms. Hashtag ephemera effects. Okay? Okay. Like I said, some of these I just really used one stamp. And you get to see me mostly using them. I don't know if you get to see me use that calligraphy stamp, because that's the name of it. It's called calligraphy. I would have called it an Asian font, but it's not a real font of any sort, I don't think. I don't know. It's all about the brains. Y'all knew that word was coming. So that's just a little ruler stamp. And I'm like, yeah, because, specimens have rulers. They ain't no boss of me, but, they could have them. And like I said, one stamp out of this one stamp out of that one, and I hope I got them put back in the correct sets, because I'm not so sure, but maybe could have happened. And trimming some of it a little bit, because I know I said it already. It is heavy cardstock, and it's not the easiest of things to die cut with the thinlits. Just saying, because it's true. It's just not. Inking. You will see me ink off and on. Usually on the paper, sometimes on my finger, sometimes in the air, sometimes on the paper. I already said that. Anyway, I have the brown colored archival coffee colored ink, and I'm very happy with it, just saying, because I am. May not be as dark as vintage photo. What, or the walnut? Is it walnut? Anyway, it's what I have. It's what I use. And I like it just fine. Okay? Okay. So now we're going to put some signatures. I'm like, I need some signatures on this here specimen. Okay? So pick this one out, and then I get a second one, but I only did two. I'm like, yeah, two's fine. It's just fine, because some of it's going to be covered up. So, don't no matter. But I am using different color inks, because, that's what I'm doing. Like, yeah, let's use that one, because I don't know which one I would use. So they're all the same, but they're not exactly alike, but they're the same. Okay, that is like a postage kind of stamp thing. It's round. Notice it's round. So I tried to remove the ink where it said something about mail, M-A-I-L, and it had some kind of sense on there. Don't make no good sense to me. So, and here we are. This is the back of the specimen, and I'm using two colors of ink there, because in my head they were going to be perfect. They're pretty good. I like them pretty good. And it's probably a stamp like for an old-fashioned library card. Library. Yes, Haley, I pronounced it correctly just for you, because we all know I like to say library. I like to. Especially when I know it annoys her. I love her like that. Anywho, doing that, holding it down. Yeah, perfect. So that's a blue and a green. Oh, here's the calligraphy stamp. I think it's called, I'm sure it's called calligraphy. I just want a little line of it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's perfect. But I don't want it to go all the way on the bottom part of my specimen. I'm like, oh, I better put a piece of paper there. Put a piece of paper there. Where's it at? And now I'm over here concentrating on this. So I don't remember where I put the ink. And I'm like, oh, where did I put that ink? Oh, I don't know. There it is. Okay, that's the ink. There we go. So, anywho, because like I said, I made 5. You're only seeing basically 1 or 2, mostly 2. So, anyway, I thought I need just a little something more, so I got out my little tin. It's got the little teensy tiny, y'all know the little teensy tiny, I think it's called Curator, but don't quote me. It's in the description, okay? Anyway, I thought we should put some of those on there. And this is where I consider this building a cluster on the actual surface, not just a background bit to be put in wherever. I'm deliberately building clusters onto these surfaces, okay? And this one I thought, well, I'm going to wrap it around as if it initially kept the specimen closed, okay? So I will be tearing those bits because one will be on the front and one will be on the back, and it like wraps around, and it had to get cut so you could see the specimens, okay? Not so much specimen, but specimen slides, sorta, okay? Work with me, people, work with me. And some of these I end up tacking down together before I glue them onto the surface. And evidently that's what we're doing on that particular one. And sometimes it just doesn't quite stay stuck that well. And I'm trying to think ahead because I'm like, I got this other thing I want to put on there. But I didn't know where I wanted to put it on there yet. Like I said, they're the same, but they're different. So I don't think they got the same little teensy tiny label doolaller bits. And we're going along. And I don't show this part on all of them. I'm not even sure if you actually see. I think you do get to see me picking out some bits and bobs. A little bit. It was close. I almost put some paper dolls too, because I love them. They're always in my brain. So we're gluing it, and that is Aleene's original tacky glue in my little bottles with the tiny little teeny tiny tip on there. Teeny tiny labels, teeny tiny tips. My computer did this little glitchy thing. I don't know if it comes off on the finished video that way, but And I don't think we had too much anti-focus going on in this one. What's up with that? Mind you, I'm not disappointed, but maybe you are disappointed that we didn't have any anti-focusing going on. Now I'm looking for my Burt's Bees, my lip moisturizer, Burt's Bees, because I need some of that. Oh, here it is. It's my brain. It's images of my actual personal, verified in my Connoggin brain. Proof. Black and white. Well, black and see-through. Right there. I do have a brain. I do. See? There it is. Well, you can almost see it. It's kind of hard to see MRI images like this. MRI, that is, a magnetic resonated, that's not the right word, but magnetic resonating image. It's an image, okay? It's not an x-ray, but it's kind of an x-ray. It sees inside, but it can't tell you what I'm thinking. I can't necessarily tell you what I'm thinking either, but anyway. So we're cutting them down. I know everybody's panicking. Oh my God! Your brain! You're putting your brain on the trimmer! Don't cut your brain! No, not cutting it. No trepanning here. Trepanning. That's where they would go in and whoever they were back in olden days. Well, they still kind of do it sometimes. My son-in-law had that done. Sort of. Well, he fell 4 stories and cracked his skull, literally cracked his skull, guy, and trepanned himself, so to speak. Yeah. Well, it saved his life because brain fluid and stuff was coming out of the little hole that he put in his forehead, which alleviated the swelling of his brain. Anyway, he's fine. It's a long time ago. He's almost normal. Like the rest of us, normal. Okay. So I decided I want to trim those down because I'm trying to get more of the brain within the specimens opening there. So I'm tracing them out with a Stabillo awl that I forgot to put on the list. So if it's not on the list, know that I used a white Stabillo awl pencil. Now they are a watercolor pencil, mostly. Yeah, they are, because they're water soluble, but they write on anything, including glass, and in this case, images. And I'm using, that's like 1/8 of an inch double-sided tape. Don't know where I got it. I'm running out. And burnish it, and burnish it, and burnish it. That means rub it really hard so it sticks really good on that side before you pull off the release paper. Okay? Okay. And then we're going to put that inside. And hopefully we didn't get it too close to our folds gap. It's not a book crack gap because it's not a book. It's fold over. And I thought about covering that up with the same cardstock or the same color cardstock. No, it's not necessary. It looks fine. The edge looks just fine. So now here comes our little specimen papers. And I'm going to use a combination of the double-sided tape and some glue, because the double-sided tape I have found for me, for my purposes, okay, maybe not yours, but for mine, that the double-sided tape works best on the plastic when you're making specimens. Like if you're using the plastic from your packaging, you know, to cover up your specimen when you're making specimen slides that way. I do. I just like the double-sided. Just saying. So, burnish and burnish. Okay. Okay. We're going to fold it over. And now, as I'm doing, well, actually, I thought about it when I was editing. I thought, well, I should have put some of that alcohol ink, aged tape bits on some of this, but I didn't do it, so I didn't do it. Now we're going to use some of these remnant rubs, because I decided that part up there just is a little blank, so I want to do some of these remnant rubs. We have them. We might as well be using these. So that's what I do. We're going to put some of that on there. And I think you get to see me do more stamping. Don't remember. It's been a couple days since I filmed and edited. Okay. Let's rub on. Okay. Ta-da. Rub on. Looking good. Putting some more ink around it. I'm like, it needs a little something. It just seemed stagnant. It looked kind of stagnant to me. I don't know what else to say. Stagnant. Isn't it funny how any word sounds ridiculous if you say it enough times? Stagnant. So we got that on there. I think I'm going to get the stamps out. We're going to put another number on it, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess we'll learn and watch together. I'll put a little number up there. Okay. Rub-ons. Cool, nifty little things. I have picked up something from a second-hand shop, and it had where you can... I think I'll be able to do my own. I haven't used it yet, but I will probably maybe one day. So here's the part that would be like if it wrapped over, held it closed, and then you tore it so you could get in there and see the specimen, or in this case the image. So I know I have a couple extras. Wonder what I'll do with them. This video is open for comments. Just saying, you might want to comment. Maybe you don't want a piece of my mind, my brain. It's not a real piece of my brain. Maybe you don't want to see the image of my brain up close and personal. I think I pretty much got actual personal information removed off of there, but I don't know. I don't know. So I decided, let's put some yellow on there because we need a little yellow. So I got out I think it's saffron. Is it saffron? I think so. Or it might be a different color. Now that I said that out loud, I'm not sure what color yellow is. It's yellow. It's like a yellow ochre, translucent-ish. E-ish. Okay? Okay. Like I said, a lot of these I just used one stamp out of a whole set because, like, do I want something down here? And I thought, let's just put some more of this same color down here. I'm like, okay. Sounds good to me. I'm glad you thunk of it. So, Halloweenisms. It's the season. It's a hashtag. I think I've used it for at least 1 year, maybe more. I don't know. So if you looked for that hashtag, some of my older stuff might come up. I don't know. Maybe. Could be. Okay. So here we go. You can kind of see that. You can kind of see it's a brain. I try to take photographs that you can kind of see it's a brain. So now I'm like, I need something to put these lovely brain specimens. Well, it's not like Einstein's brain specimens. I mean, those are actual real specimens of his actual brain. Mine's just a picture. Not really, but it's a picture. It's a picture. Proves I have one. So, that is some glassine paper I got from the Amazons. And it's not as translucent as I expected. But it's okay. So we're going to use that fun bubble stamp from Idea-ology. And I'm going to use some different colors. Well, some of the same colors that we used on the front, on the specimen itself. And my whole plan was, I think if I stamp it on one side and we actually see it from the other side, that will be just as cool. And that may actually look like an actual specimen. Because when they take specimens, they put dyes on them to show various things. Okay? So, not ink. They use dyes. This is not a dye. This is a solvent-based ink. Yeah. Pretty sure. And I thought, oh, red. That's going to look all bloody. And it kind of does. Sort of. I'm actually very happy with my envelopes too. Oh, did I say we're making envelopes? We're making envelopes. 5 of them because I had 5 of the specimen. I mean, the image, whatever you would call them. That's why I didn't call them anything. Ephemera effects. Halloweenisms. Okay. That's scratch paper, and here we're going to heat gun, y'all, so we can dry that. Okay. And I'm just wiping over it with a napkin back, because I have backs of napkins. I'm just going to use them for daubling. And that's what I'm doing, just to make sure it's all nice and dry. And now we're going to use our envelope punch forward, which I really do like this tool. I bought it myself. Just saying. Okay. Now it's hard to see where it scores at on this glassine paper. Just saying. I'm going to use double-sided tape on it as well. Even though I'm pretty sure regular glue, and by regular glue I mean, wet glue or maybe even a glue stick would work to adhere this. Okay? Okay. Now you see how nice and bold it is on the stamp side, but I want to show the other side. Oh, now we're going to round the outside corners, and they can be a bit tricky on thin paper. It cut one of them real good and the other one not so much. So I'm like, where's that little scrap of paper? Because sometimes if you just put another sheet of paper back there and then you punch with that back there, it works more better, typically. Not 100% guaranteed, but typically. So we're going around, we're going to do that. I think you get to see all of them. You're welcome. Or maybe not. I see a division line coming up. Oh, you do get to see all of them. All right, so we got them all punched. They're all scored. Now we're just going to fold it over, and I'm burnishing it down with my finger. I'm just using my little index finger right there. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. No chickens involved. And some of it, just trim a little bit, because, it was using those punches, and they can be kind of tricky on thin paper. We've already gone through this, y'all. We already talked about this. So here comes this. Is just double-sided tape and an advanced tape glider, aka ATG gun, because it's got a trigger. Anyway, it's supposed to be permanent, and I'm just rubbing away some of the excess. And if you don't burnish it too much, you can sometimes pull it up and you get a second chance to try getting it more lined up. Okay? I'm like, yes. See how cool it looks from the outside? I hope you can tell, because it looks cool on the inside. I could have put the stamped part on the outside, but I really wanted it on the inside. I thought it would look cool and mysterious and like, what is that kind of thing, Do I show you all the envelopes? I don't think so. They're all the same, but they're a little different because, stamping's not 100% the exact same, but, it's the same. But it's different. We go through this often even. So, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, here we go. So, I wanted the slides, until they decide they're supposed to be closed, they're going to keep trying to pop up. Like I said, it's heavy cardstock as well. So I thought, well, I'll just make these little sleevette things to, fold around there to help keep the little slides closed. And then we're going to put them in the envelopes. And I thought, well, I don't want to glue the envelope closed. So we're going to kind of make this thing, and we'll use a punch on that too. And we'll put that on the flap side of the envelope so you can tuck the flap into it. Flack. Don't give me no flack, people. Look, it's a brain. And unfortunately, I do not know the manufacturer of this brain stamp. It is not in my desk reference book. I don't know. It's just an acrylic stamp. I probably use it every Halloween or other times. I don't know. It's a nice stamp. Here can y'all. Magical embossing. I think you might get to see an extra much of this because I just think it is so cool to watch that stuff melt. So I'm kind of spacing them out because, like I said, I'm going to be using a punch. It's an oval punch. I actually have an oval punch that fit this brain. Okay? So I'm not too worried about the excess stuff over there. Just tap it off. It'll be all right. Because we're going to punch them out anyway. Punching out a brain. Kapow! Knockout. Okay, so see, oval punch, and there we go. We do that for all of them. You gotta get just right. Okay, and then I punch some extra cardstock. This is just regular, normal cardstock. It's not heavy duty, and I wanted it to not be real flat on the flap side of the envelope, so I'm just popping up half of it. Just so it's not totally flat, okay? You can't tell but it's enough that you can slide the little flap under and everything's perfectly fine, in my opinion. It's like a brain. Everybody's got at least one. Some. Okay. Gluing that on there. Do you see all this? I don't know. I think I cut some of this out too because it's the same thing. Layering it up. Okay, here's our envelope. I typically say envelope. I know a lot of people are fancy and say envelope. Now I'm going to stick it down, but I don't get it stuck where I really wanted it, so I'm going to pull it off, and as long as it's not stuck and burnished down really good, it'll just pop right back off. See? Easy does it. Okay, I'm like, yeah, okay. Took some of that sticky off, so let's put some more on there. And that's a different ATG, thicker. This is like a 1/2 inch, I think. So it just tucks right in there. That one has a little piece coming up, and I'm like, I don't want it coming up, so I just put some more glue on it. It's okay. Be all right. Ain't no thing. Don't no matter. Oh. And, yeah. Okay, flippy flop. I love that. See how it just slides in and out. Looks cool on the inside and cool on the outside. And there's our little sleevette, and here's my brains. My brain on ephemera effects. Halloweenisms, y'all. It's so funny. It is so funny in my head. Did you get it? It's funny in my head. So I'll put that sleeve back on there. I'm like, yeah, perfect. The perfect brain to show off and share with lucky people. They're the same. They're different. Hello, phone. Hi, y'all. Oh, my goodness. So funny. Crack me up. Ta-da! Photo montage. That's a pretty good one. See, it's got that butterfly in there, like that movie Butterfly Effect. I liked it, that movie. I know a lot of people didn't like that movie. I liked it. This is my brain, people. She does have one. It does exist. Isn't that right? Something like that. I told y'all, it's a lot of stuff all packed in there. It's not overly packed in there, but, there's stuff in there. Specimen. Now you get the title. My brain on ephemera effects. Halloweenisms. Yes, I'm laughing in my head right now. Can't you hear it? Thanks for watching, and happy arting, y'all. No zombies allowed.